always mortifying. Yeah, Milo and I just meeting each other for the first time. Wow. My hair was really short.
Actually, no. I don't just want you to believe it.
Wait, you had to audition?
Yeah, you got it. You got to put yourself out there. You got to try.
Guys, that was my headshot hair. I got it dyed for new headshots and never used the headshots.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm CBS 19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony, and we are in the CBS 19 Weather Center as we bring you an update here on our severe weather that is now getting closer and closer to Smith County, Wood County, Upshur County as it continues moving to the south and to the southeast. We have meteorologist Colleen Campbell with me here this evening. These are the current warnings that are going on across the area, Morris and Titus County, also Cass, Bowie County in this severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 1:15, and then this other warning out here in Van Zant and Kaufman County until 1:15, and also a portion of Henderson County in a severe thunderstorm warning. This is the one we have a little more concern over right in this area here. You'll notice these dashed lines. That means that it's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible. We'll zoom in first on this one area where there is excessive rainfall and a lot of lightning coming down the Pittsburgh area back toward Pineview and Newsom and Winsboro. This is heavy rainfall that could be causing some flash flooding, and that is one concern we had was for flash flooding here this evening. Meantime, this other little area starting to show some rotation as it moves out of Kaufman County into Henderson County, and right on the leading edge of that also into Van Zant County, there may be some wind gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour. In fact, we'll zoom in on that just a little bit here and give you a look at Gun Barrel City. This bright pink area here, that's where we could have some strong wind gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour, and that's why this storm is warned for a severe thunderstorm warning. And then you see this little area up here just to the north and east of Gun Barrel City, northwest of Athens, a little rotation also showing up in that portion of the storm. But this is headed southeast toward Malakoff at about 12:57, Crescent Heights, Crossroads, Cayuga, and Blackfoot, and that would eventually move down into Anderson County. So this is a strong wind signature here as it moves into Henderson County. And also, as I back things up and we take a look at the radar, we're going to also look at right here in our severe thunderstorm warned area. Okay, so there is Wood County, here's Smith County. So these showers and thunderstorms are starting now to move into Smith County. And so you can see this little curl here. So there's wind getting pulled back into the storm, and there's also wind being pushed back from the west. So right in this whole area, this thunderstorm itself, just the large complex of thunderstorms, is almost turning and forming a little area of low pressure. And it forms that little bit of an area of low pressure. We'll look to the north and we'll look back to the southwest for possible areas where we could see more rotation. But we'll get strong winds coming in behind, and on the apex of that, the leading edge into Van Zant County and Henderson County, and eventually here into Smith County, this is where we could see those very strong wind fields starting to show up. We're doing three things here. We're doing an update here on air. We're also updating online, streaming this data, and on our Facebook page. If you're joining there, you can watch this coverage as we go through there. I'm getting some questions about Berryville and Edom. Well, Berryville and Edom, we are going to watch these thunderstorms move into those two areas within the next hour. So you're going to get some heavy rainfall. Look at all the lightning. There is just a ton of lightning with this. Heavy rain, so that could create some flash flooding from Canton back down toward Corsicana. Meteorologist Colleen Campbell is with me. And Colleen, could you zoom in? Let's go up to the northeast of Gilmer here and check out that area if we can. And you'll notice there's also a little bowing structure up on this part of the cell as it moves to the southeast. All right, so right in here, from Brumley to Grice to Perryville, back toward East Point, these are all very heavy signatures of rain, while you've got maybe a little bit of light rain out ahead of that. Essentially, this is going to be raining over almost the same area, and that could create some flash flooding. Quitman right now, heavy rain. Mineola's on the edge of that heavy rain. Winsboro also on the heavy rain. And just look at the lightning strikes that are showing up. So these are strengthening thunderstorms at this time. That's generally north of Interstate 20. Lindale and Winona are currently not in the path of that portion of the storm, but they are in the portion of this part of the storm coming out of Van Zant County and moving to the east into Smith County. And then we go back over here toward Gilmer, and in parts of Upshur County, you've got the thunderstorms moving in there. Now, I know there may be some frayed nerves in parts of Upshur County thanks to the last couple of weeks. Let's put a storm track on these storms, especially this area here. This is the one we really want to track. This one seems to be moving from the southwest to the northeast, but if we could track this area here from Canton to Martins Mill out to the east, I think it's moving roughly at about 30 to 35 miles an hour, and that will give you an idea of when that will move into Smith County. In the city of Lindale and Tyler. So we might have to widen that out just a little bit and give you that idea. Yeah, so we're just kind of planning it right on through here. We're going to look at this area. We'll do a little future cast into the next couple of, maybe the next half hour or so. Again, this is moving to the east at about 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour. And you'll notice here, Murchison, Van, Brownsboro makes it to Tyler Pounds at about 1:21, Thetford at 1:23, Tyler at 1:30 in the morning, and Winona at 1:46. So let's go over, this is this area here where the winds inside this thunderstorm have a possibility of producing 65-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So again, that's Murchison, that's downstream just a little bit. That's in about 7 minutes. Van in about 8 minutes, and that's the bulk of that storm pushing right through Van. Then toward Brownsboro at 1:05, Tyler Pounds at 1:21. So it's about 40 minutes away from the airport in Tyler, and then eventually into Tyler at about 1:30. So that's also about 40 minutes away. So when it gets here, expect heavy rain, frequent lightning, wind gusts close to 60 miles an hour. I would not be surprised if the Weather Service didn't extend these severe thunderstorm warnings that we're seeing here, if they weren't extended into Smith County and also Wood County. I'm not sure about that yet. This part of the signature here in the cell and the thunderstorm, not indicating some as strong winds. There might be just a little bit of hail there. We know there's some tremendous amounts of rainfall. Then we go up into northwestern Upshur County, and that's also not as much of a wind signature there. Once you get north of that into Cass County and the eastern parts up to the northern part of, Morris County. So Morris County to Cass County, that's where we have that little bit, maybe of a stronger signature of some wind here east of Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant, it's just a regular old rain for the rest of the night. Sulphur Springs, regular old rain. Emory, boy, this is great sleeping weather if you're out there. Rain, couple rumbles of thunder, and that's about it. The rest of us have a long way to go, as this is going to take about the next 3 hours for it to move from the northwest down to the southeast across the area. Over toward Marshall right now, a non-severe thunderstorm occurring at this time. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning, and Colleen will click on that. And so this is going to be Henderson County. This is till 1 a.m. So this is a new portion of the storm into Van Zant County also. And then we have this extension on back down toward Richland and Corsicana. And that eventually, that part of the cell may move into Anderson County before the night is said and done, as that moves south and eastward. Again, we are, let's see, we're getting a report here. It's lightning, really bad in Edom. All right, thank you. Getting a report here on Facebook. We're also doing this on Facebook. Somebody wants to know about Carthage, Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill, you're pretty much in the Tyler time frame, so in Chapel Hill, I would expect the storms to show up there right at about 1:35 to 1:40. All right, lightning and thundering in Brownsboro. Thank you, Kathy. And somebody wants to know about Henderson. It looks like Henderson's closer to 2 a.m. before the storms arrive. And what are you going, let's see. When are we going to get to go to sleep in White House? After 2 a.m. and Longview, probably 2:30. Look at all of the lightning strikes here out to the northwest of Athens. Remember, we look at lightning strikes, and we have these really kind of ramped up on the big size here, so you can just tell the amount of lightning between Gun Barrel City and Athens. So in Athens, you're probably hearing the thunder, and soon you'll get the heavy rain. You're seeing the lightning out to the northwest, you're hearing the thunder approaching, and then the rain is going to hit you, and it's going to be very heavy. Also, some wind close to 60 miles an hour, maybe a little bit stronger than that on this severe warned portion of the storm that goes until 1 a.m. That's Henderson and Navarro County. And Henderson County will eventually, that cell would move over towards Smith, maybe Anderson, and eventually down into Cherokee County in the city of Jacksonville. Anywhere you see the red here, this is a tornado watch that's in effect until 4 o'clock this morning. All right, we have a live picture coming to you from Canton. And this is right now where Mata and Jelly Lopez and Jose Alonso are currently tonight, and we've got heavy rainfall there. That gives you an idea of just how hard it is raining. And we also gives you an idea, look at the lightning flashes in the background. So the rain is now just moving into the portion of Canton and Van Zant County and continues working its way. In fact, they're at Dukes off by Interstate 20. That's where they are right now. And so that gives you kind of an idea, landmark. If you can think about that, if you're familiar with Interstate 20 and Dukes, then you know exactly where we're talking about, that area near Canton. And rain right now is in that area, coming down very heavily right now. All right, let's go back to the radar. Ooh, nice lightning flash there. So that's right in here, okay? So Interstate 20 right here. So they are essentially right in the Canton area, right in the middle of all of that rain and thunder. Okay, so one of the areas that we're going to watch as we head through the rest of the night are going to be these little notches here. We know that the outward portion of this, where it sort of bows out, those are where the strongest winds will be. But we also want to watch where the wind starts coming back in, where there's air being allowed to race back into the thunderstorm from the out in front of it. In that area, we could see a little bit of turning in that thunderstorm. So Colleen Campbell's putting another track on this as it moves eastward, roughly at about 35 miles an hour. So we just had a question about White House. These thunderstorms arrive in White House about 1:45. Now, it's probably going to take a good half hour to get through White House, maybe 45 minutes. So that would make it at about 2:30 when these thunderstorms move through there. Bullard 152, Tyler, like we said, about 1:30, Hawkins 1:30, Tyler Pounds about 1:19. These are really going to start to pick up speed here. Once they do pick up speed, a couple of concerns. We know that the winds that are driving or pushing these thunderstorms are going to be very strong, 60, 65, maybe 70 miles an hour. These might start moving across the ground at about 50 to 55 miles an hour down to the southeast. You get any wind aloft that's at 65 or 70, that could easily get transferred to the surface. When that transfers to the surface, that's when you could have a chance to see some of these thunderstorms produce some damaging wind gusts. So Gilmer right now not seeing the heavy rain. Mineola's just getting into the heavy rain. Smith County's right on the edge, just starting to sneak in there. We had that picture from Canton, which we showed you the heavy rainfall, and then into Henderson County. Back to this live picture here again. This is at Dukes along Interstate 20 in Canton, and the possibility of flash flooding certainly there. Hydroplaning on roadways. If you know anybody that might be coming back from the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area or heading out in that direction, or going to be driving in that direction, you're going to want to tell them that they're probably going to encounter some very heavy rain. They need to slow down a little bit on the interstate. Take it easy, because these speeds, this rain will really require you to just kind of slow down, or you could easily hydroplane. All right, Corsicana to Athens, and then there go the lightning strikes again. So we just fill in on the lightning. Anytime you see a lot of lightning, you know that the potential is there for a lot of rainfall. That's what we're seeing. Current warning, Van Zandt County till 1:15, Henderson County till 1:30. That's a new severe thunderstorm warning for this area. We have the thunderstorms pushing through parts of Wood County and also Upshur County. Going back to Facebook, we're streaming on Facebook. We're also streaming on our website, cbs19.tv, and we're live here on CBS 19 as we head late into the early morning hours of Tuesday morning. All right, so let's see. We've got, let me look through Facebook pages here. We've got a lot of folks watching. Let's see. Oh, somebody wants to know about Emory. Emory is in that. Emory's basically pushed through. Can you see Emory here? Looks like the rain has moved through Emory. You are done for the night. The severe weather threat is over for Emory. It's just rain, maybe some gentle thunder, rumbles of thunder up here in the Emory area. Otherwise, as we head downstream, this is where we're going to start looking for those thunderstorms in the Mineola area over toward Gilmer, and eventually down to the south toward Longview and Marshall as the night goes on. All right, a couple of other questions here. Just looking through here. Let's see, Eustis. Somebody wants to know about Eustis. Eustis right now is seeing the heavy rain and the thunder, and you are currently under a severe thunderstorm warning in Eustis, and that goes until 1:15. Wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour possible, maybe some small hail. All right, let's see. Excuse me. All right, let's go back to Canton. We've got Mara Angeli Lopez. She is on the phone with us or live, but let's go back to Canton and find out what Mara is experiencing. Mara, you look like you're staying dry, but it looks like heavy rain there behind you.
Yes, Brett. You know, staying dry is an understatement a little bit, because we did have to kind of run through we had the canopy that we were sitting under, and of course we've been waiting for this rain to kind of come through Duke's Travel Plaza. it's looking like it's slowing down a little bit, still raining, but let's see if we can move over so we can see what we're actually looking at. Lots of lightning. That's what we first noticed whenever the storm kind of came through this area. We noticed some lightning, we noticed the strong winds all night, and then all of a sudden, this big just line of just rain just coming over, and yeah, I don't know, it's kind of not stopped, it's still steady, but it's kind of moving in a kind of northwest direction. If you can see that, the sky is lighting up frequently with these lightning strikes, just a lot of that. But, you know, trying to stay dry as much as we can. Of course, you know, my hair is naturally curly, so I like to joke and say that whenever my hair gets curly, that means that the storms are really here, because it went from straight to its natural state. But for sure, lots of water down here. Let me see if we can step on these puddles. Really not much to see right now, but earlier there were a couple puddles around here. Maybe if we went more towards the area that is actually pouring down, we'll see more, but definitely don't want to be all under that and exposed for sure. We're just here at the gas station and just kind of staying put for now. We'll of course try to follow this line of storms depending on what you're forecasting, Brett, and what you're seeing on the radar, and seeing if there's any storm damage or reports in the area. But it looked like it just kind of came through, and it's up to you to tell us what's next. So we're here in Canton reporting live. I'll send things back to you in the studio, Brett.
Giving Brett a little bit of a break, but I did want to update you with what we have on the latest here. Just extending these severe thunderstorm warnings a little bit more. A couple counties that were just added. We were just talking about areas like Gilmer just going to see the heavy rain pretty soon here, as well as those 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's not how fast the storm is moving, but that's how the winds are, how fast the winds are inside these storms. So we have a couple of those severe thunderstorm warnings. Brett, I do want to look at those counties one more time. I think it was Marion County, Harrison County. It was expanded out this way. Upshur County, it looks like. There it goes. Harrison, Marion, Morris, and Upshur. Man, I'm good. I remembered that. All right. So, and then we also have two other severe thunderstorm warnings. So currently we have 4 that are active. So the Harrison, Marion, Morris, and Upshur, that's the newest one. That goes until about 1:45, which the timing on this is starting to speed up a little bit. And then we also have Bowie, Cass, Little River, which is going into Arkansas now in that severe thunderstorm warning until 1:15. So that should be expiring in the next 15 minutes. And then we also have down in Van Zandt County and Henderson County. We've been talking about those too. Brett, if you could just pan down around that area as well. Now, the one down by Van Zandt County, that's the one that we were paying particular attention to because it had those 60-mile-per-hour winds. And they did actually expand that out to the east a little bit as well. So that's kind of bumping up against just leaving out a small portion of areas like Mineola just being left out by that. Mineola getting the heavier rain right now. Look how the box is kind of touched there. So a couple areas, Brett just put a tracker on here. What we can expect if it continues along its same little pathway there. Again, these are severe thunderstorm warnings, 60-mile-per-hour winds, frequent lightning, and heavy rain. Hideaway around 1:07 a.m., 1:10 Lindale, Tyler Pounds around 1:21. Here in the city of Tyler, 1:30. Big Sandy, 1:37. White House, I know a lot of people are writing in from White House on Facebook, around 1:49 a.m. Gladewater, 1:55. So again, we have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings out right now. We also have a tornado watch that goes until 4 a.m. We really want to hit the gas pedal and get these storms out of here. Some areas are already in the clear. Brett, if we could go over those areas, just move this a little bit so we can get this box out of the way and just show the areas that are now in the clear. Emory, I know a couple people were asking in Emory, are you now okay? Yes, you are. And by the way, we don't have any tornado warnings. As of yet, we don't want to say that too loud because the storm that we were looking at, see these hatched lines on the severe thunderstorm warning box over in Van Zandt? That's because that storm hours ago out to the west did have a little bit more oomph to it and did cause some problems over in Venus. which is way outside of our DMA, but it's an area that really got bruised by tonight's storms. Likely did have a tornado touchdown, but again, that's far west of us. But what I'm saying here is here we are a couple hours down the line, and this is a cell that we do want to pay close attention to. Right now, it's just producing frequent lightning, heavy rain, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds inside that storm cell. So that is what we're paying attention to. That severe thunderstorm warning goes until 1:30. That's for Van Zandt, and that's where that hatching is. And it looks like we just got an update here. So, Brett, it looks like they just expanded that a little bit and made the timing a little bit longer. So it looks like now that severe thunderstorm warning that we're just pointing out, the newest one for around Smith County, Upshur County, and going kind of eastward of that, goes until 2 a.m. So again, these are areas that are not technically seeing the heaviest of rain right now, like here in Tyler, but you likely will within the next half hour or so. So here's all that lightning that you can see. So again, thankfully, we don't have any tornado warnings. We are under a tornado watch until 4 a.m. And there's those counties. I'll step out of the way here. Cherokee, Gregg, Rusk, and Smith counties have been added to that. And Brett's bringing up the tornado watch that goes until 4 a.m. This was updated. Hey, this is pretty important for those of you that are around Smith County or eastward of that, around Upshur County. Upshur County, you were hit pretty hard on the 21st. If you live in a mobile home, we cannot say this enough. If you're under this watch right now, which takes up a large portion of East Texas, you need to find shelter right now. Even though there's not a tornado warning, this is for mobile and manufactured homes only that I'm speaking to right now. If you are under a tornado watch and you live in a mobile or manufactured home, you cannot stay there. I know it's an inconvenience, but you want to be safe. Better than sorry, right? So this is a watch that we have, tornado watch until 4 a.m. That is your signal to go ahead and take shelter someplace else if you live in a mobile or manufactured home. All right, let's go back to the radar and talk about these severe thunderstorm warnings one more time, just because we've had some updates. So the newest update here, Cherokee, Gregg, Rusk, and I believe Upshur County. Cherokee, Gregg, Rusk, and Smith County. Upshur County also included in a severe thunderstorm warning. That goes until 2 a.m. So areas like here in Tyler, we're really not seeing heavy rain. We've had heavy rain from time to time, little burst, kind of pulse-up storms. But the main line is just moving through Athens, kind of moving out from Canton right now. So Canton, you will be in the clear in the next, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Mineola in the heart of it currently. Gilmer, you're about to get a good pour on top of your area right now. Also some gusty winds out that way, frequent lightning. Look at all the lightning down. This is the area that we've really been paying close attention to. So over by Tyler, maybe we could put a timer on this to see, because this is the area, see how it's kind of bulging out like there? It looks like a little Buddha belly. That's what we really have to pay attention to, because that storm cell hours ago did have a history of producing likely a tornado that was over in Venus. If anybody's familiar with that area, there's damage reports coming out from that way. Thankfully, we're just under a tornado watch and severe thunderstorm warnings, but hey, this is something that with all the frequent lightning, the 60-mile-per-hour winds, the heavy rain, we just saw Mara out in Van Zandt County. She has a little safe spot there. This is an area that we do want to pay attention to. And let's just put a time on this track just to see. And it looks like it's kind of getting a little choppier, which we'd like to see. But what we don't like to see if we get some notches and it kind of like spins out there. I'll step off the screen here so Brett can go ahead and do that. And again, we have that severe thunderstorm warning for Van Zandt that goes until 1:30. It's currently 1:07. And Cherokee, Gregg, Rusk, and Smith, that's the newest severe thunderstorm warning we have that goes until 2 a.m. All right, timing this out. If it continues on the way that it wants to go, 110 for Lindale, so within the next few minutes, Lindale will be right on top of you. 118 for Tyler Pounds. Over in the city of Tyler, about 128, Big Sandy, 133. Man, you don't really realize you need glasses until you're standing up here, I'll tell you that. White House, Brett has his glasses. I guess I need a pair soon. White House, 143, 150, Gladewater, and Kilgore, 204. So again, it could be a little faster than that because we have seen this pick up the pace a little bit, but it's over where you see all this cluster of lightning. Look at that. So again, Mara was just out that way. We were seeing frequent lightning. Mara is actually a little bit further north. She's around Canton, correct? Yeah.
Let me jump in here. We have
Yeah.
a new severe thunderstorm
Oh,
warning
got it. Okay.
that's just been issued. That's going to be for Cass County, but also going back to the thunderstorm that you were talking about that's moving into Smith County, the National Weather Service has placed a considerable tag on this, meaning that wind gusts are expected to approach 70 miles an hour. So anywhere moving into western parts of Smith County now, we could have some wind gusts close to 70 miles an hour. So that is going to be impactful over the next hour. It looks like it's moving to the east. Most of the time we've had about a track on it roughly at about 40 miles an hour. So as you'll see here, that puts it at Tyler Pounds at about 115, Lindale around 111, Tyler about 130 as we've been saying. White House about 141, Gladewater at 148. So a 70-mile-an-hour wind gust, that's just 4 miles shy of hurricane strength. That is a very powerful wind, so there would be some wind damage possibly with some of these cells. I'll show you where those are. Right in here, Colleen was pointing this out, but right in here is this bow and that echo, and that's where the winds are being forced out ahead of that. So that's where we have the severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 2 a.m., but it's going to be this cell right in here, this particular part of the path that the National Weather Service has placed a considerable tag on. They don't do that very often, but when they do that, that really means that there is a chance for some real chance for some wind damage. So you've got that coming right into parts of Smith County and eventually moving all part of northern Cherokee County is in that, but we'd have to see this cell sort of settle down to the south and east. Right now it's kind of moving right over toward Gladewater and eventually off to even farther east than that. So Gregg County would be just, I think, it just looks like it's south of Longview. Well, eventually I think it would move over toward the Longview area. But yeah, right in here is going to be this very strong portion of that cell. They have the dashed lines on there for the tornado possible, but then we add that considerable tag onto the cell also across the area. So we can put that into motion, and maybe we can see just about how that's sort of moving and that evolution of the line itself. And you'll see how fast. We'll take off the path, the track there. And when we do that, then you'll be able to see, and then widen that out just a little bit, Colleen, so we can kind of watch this just sort of, and then play that from there. And
Last hour loop?
yeah, so this will show you just how much faster it's beginning to move. And you also see it starting to spread down to the south. So this will likely move east all the way to Longview. With that considerable tag all the way into Gregg County. In fact, Gregg County is in that with the considerable tag, so that gives you a better view, and even northern portions of Cherokee County. This is going to head down south toward Palestine, down toward Nacogdoches. That's why these counties are in the tornado watch till 4. But you can essentially see this sort of curve. So back in college, and I'm not sure if we even say the same, we used to call this a line echo wave pattern, because you see that kind of wave to it. Right? And so we're on these loops or line echo wave patterns. We'd watch these areas here for the possibility of a spin up. So that's northern Smith County. We have to watch that area. There's inflow there. Plus then there's also inflow coming in behind that storm. But it's bulging out there into parts of Henderson County and southern Smith County and western Smith County. Then you go up into Wood and Upshur County. And here you wouldn't be as much concerned about the wind, even though there is a severe thunderstorm warning. But it's really in that this is almost a classic, what I call line echo wave pattern. You can just kind of see line, echo, and a little wave there. And then it goes back down. And so when we get something like this, I watch this area here for a bookend vortice. I also watch the top end here where things can swirl back around on it. And we watch the middle. All right, so right in here in Smith County. So right along Interstate 20. By the way, the city of Canton looks like you've cleared out. So Canton, be interesting to go back to Mata. I bet she's like standing probably in just some light rain right now. The heavier rain pushes into eastern Van Zant and Henderson County and then northwestern parts of Smith County. So that moves eastward here, and we have to keep an eye right in here. If we can zoom in on that area maybe a little bit closer and kind of give everybody an indication of what we're looking at. Let's kind of go tighter on that northwestern part of Smith County right now. So that's going to 110 as it heads out to the northwest toward Mineola Highway, Highway 69, up toward Lindale also, and then this has moved right through Van. So Van, you're about coming out of that heavy rainfall. Chandler, you're going to get into this heavy rainfall, and there is some tremendous amounts of rain. But right in here, Lindale down to Highway 69 toward Tyler, Interstate 20 and Winona, right in here. Let's watch this area very carefully. In fact, if we wanted to go to velocity, and I'm not sure because if we can get much on velocity here tonight, because again, we're shooting between two radar beams, and it's just kind of very tough to see when we shoot into the mid-levels of this thunderstorm, essentially what we would be looking at. And I think when we do see that, we would be able to,
I see.
yeah, just gonna flip over. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Canton Live pick. There it is. Okay, so as expected, this is Dukes on Interstate 20, where Marty Angeli Lopez and Jose Alonso, they are out there stationed tonight, and they were taking shelter as the storm was moving through. We had heavy rain, and Marty was showing us some very heavy rain, but now it looks like that rain has sort of subsided as expected. We just showed you on the radar. We thought that rain is over. So Canton, if you're watching us tonight, you're in the clear. You're good. You can sleep the rest of the night and know that your severe threat is over. This severe threat is now spreading into parts of Smith County as we speak. So, what's that? A storm report? A little damage or something?
This is just the severe thunderstorm warning continuing for Van Zandt until this is old.
All right, Tinsley Landreth says it's thundering and lightning in Lindale. That's good news. Hitting Lake Athens now. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate that. Damage reports coming out of where? Red, I have not heard of any yet. Athens. Kimberly Ferguson wanted to know about Athens. The storm is now moving into Malakoff as we thought, and it's right over Aubin, McClanahan, and New Harmony. And then we've got these, it looks like strong cells out of keep those strong cells out of Longview, please. Boy, I wish I had that kind of power, for sure, because we would. All right, let's go back into, look at these cells again. Again, we're streaming on 3 different platforms here. We're on air. We're also streaming on CBS19.tv. And we are also on our Facebook page right now. And on our Facebook page, we can answer questions there. So if you have any, just post those questions, and we'll try to answer those. But essentially, we got strong winds moving toward Coffee City. Athens right now, we just had a report that Lake Athens was getting hit pretty hard. I think this has moved maybe to out of the Malakoff area. So that moves to the south and east of Malakoff, and then you're done for the night. It's anywhere upstream. So Lindale, Tyler, Coffee City, White House, Troop, Flint, Chapel Hill, out eastward toward Longview, you still have thunderstorms to contend with. In fact, Longview probably has the thunderstorm to contend with up until about 2 a.m. And then Lindale, it looks like I think they just expired that severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Van Zandt County. Colleen, I'll let you take over at the wall again. I need to clear my throat a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get a little frog in my throat.
My keyboard's acting a little weird, but I'm trying to look at the chat. It looks like yeah, Downtree across the road, and that's 1861. So we got our first storm report here.
Oh, that's in Van Zandt County?
Yeah, Van Zandt. Okay. So we just got our first storm report. A couple people were asking across, what's that say, 1 mile west of 19
County. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Van Zandt County, we just got a storm report in through the National Weather Service chat. So Downtree, west of 19, it said, right? Okay, so again, Van Zandt County, it looks like that we still have that severe thunderstorm warning until 1:30, but it will be dropping soon, right? Correct, Brett? Want to make sure I'm saying, okay, yeah.
So there's 19 coming out of Canton. So
and the address for that storm report is?
Well, that was going to be, let's see, 1861, I guess that's County Road 1861, a mile west of 19 in Van Zandt County.
Okay.
All right, and now we have a local storm report. This is coming out of Kaufman. This is Kemp. Oh, that was thunderstorm wind.
There's 19.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little mile west of that.
Yeah.
So probably
and then
right in that area.
1861, I don't know if we can.
I can try to zoom in on that.
Level.
Yeah, we'd have to go, I think, to know exactly where that is. Otherwise, we're going to be on a wild goose chase with that.
Yeah, but that would likely, now you can see that that area is starting to calm down and just have some lighter rain in that area. So that's some good news. But storm reports typically come a little bit later, especially if it comes from a storm chaser, because of course they are going to go in the heart of the storm, but they're also going to take cover too, and they want to make sure that they are safe. So we still have these severe thunderstorm warnings that are ongoing. We have Cherokee, Gregg, Ruskin, Smith until 2 a.m. And you can see this is what Brett was talking about. He's putting a track on this right now so we can get a couple towns out to you guys as far as how fast fast this is moving. It looks like it's moving about 40 miles per hour, but wind gusts up to 65, possibly even 70 mile per hour winds, which, as Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony was saying, that would be close to hurricane force winds. So you have to let us know what you're hearing outside. Of course, you have to be safe at the same time. 125, it looks like the storm will start to enter into the city of Tyler. To 128, Big Sandy, New Chapel Hill around 140. White House, we have a couple of people asking about White House, 144. 153, White Oak, Longview around 203. I know a couple of people are saying keep it out of Longview, but unfortunately Longview coming your way. And again, these are severe thunderstorm warnings, but it's severe thunderstorm warnings that we have to look out for some rotation. Plus those winds, it's really a wind threat at this point in time. And then Turnertown, 213, a lot of tuz in there.
Our friend Jordan Hyde, who we've heard from several times, Gun Barrel City, she wants to know if the warning has expired. Yes, for Gun Barrel City
Gun Barrel City, yes.
And also 1861 south of Canton is at Walton. So that's what it gives you an idea of where that is. Thank you, Carrie, for that report. Really hitting Brownsboro right now.
Okay.
So that's good to know. Holly Lake Ranch, you know, I'd put everybody who's anywhere, if you're watching, unless you're in very deep East Texas and parts of Angelina County or Sabine or San Augustine County, you're probably going to experience this thunderstorm at some point between now and about 3 a.m.
Yep. Yeah. So we just have these 2 severe thunderstorm warnings right now, correct?
Yes.
And then the one in Van Zant looks like it's probably going to
drop.
Excuse me, Henderson is going to drop soon, and portions of Van Zant. But
it looks like that little corner of Van Zant County, but I can zoom in. That's going to be south and east of Canton toward Edom.
Yeah, okay.
And Van
so
and Lindale.
Van on top of you right now, Edom, Lindale also getting soaked, Chandler, Moore Station. So this is all moving on top of you right now. So within, maybe the next 20 minutes, you will be in the clear. It's these areas that we have to be on the lookout for. Tyler, you're up next. And again, these are severe thunderstorm warnings, but have a history of producing some pretty gusty winds. We did get our most recent storm report, our only storm report for East Texas. I know I was saying storm reports earlier, but it was not our viewing area. I think I confused a few people with that. We just got our first storm report moments ago in Van Zant, which now Van Zant is in the clear. Look at all this lightning, Mineola, Athens. So this is where the storms currently are. And Brett, if you could take that blue tracker off there so people could see a little bit. That's Tyler, White House, Big Sandy, currently dry. You probably see some lightning in the distance. Maybe we could bring up one of our cameras. That'd be good because we probably can see some lightning out to the west of us. Not so much in Tyler, but down to the southwest. All right, so there's our Tyler camera right now. That looks like it's looking towards downtown.
It's off to the northwest where the lightning's just coming in.
Okay, yeah, so a little bit of a hazy sky. Every now and again, we do see the occasional flash of lightning. Of course, it's not going to do it when we have it brought up, right?
Right.
But we are dry as far as rain goes right now. But however, there it goes. We just took it off and it was flashing lightning. All right, so within the next, what was that timing saying? I think for here in Tyler, it said around 140. It might even be earlier than that because you can see
about 1:30 at Tyler, 1:15.
Yeah.
Well, it's past that at pounds, and it looks like it is kind of moved into pounds about that time. So the city of Tyler itself. I'm going to zoom in, Colleen, because we are now seeing some of the strongest winds approaching the west side of Tyler. So I'll go all the way in on this.
Yeah, Tyler Pounds is right on top of it right now.
So Pounds is getting pounded. And then we look at Highway 31 coming out of town toward Chandler, and it's raining heavily there. And then up to the northwest towards Swan. Swan's about to get hit with some heavy rainfall. And you can see New Harmony right now and Mount Sylvan also getting some heavy rainfall. But it looks like it's right on the west side of town. And you can see there's Irwin Street and Old Henderson Highway. So it's just about to cross the loop.
Okay, all right. So we'll probably hear it pretty soon here. Right, right about there.
There it is. All right, you want another track?
That'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of lightning coming out from Athens area. And again, these are severe thunderstorm warnings, but it's just something that we're looking out for to see if we get any rotation. But it's still very strong winds, 60 mile per hour winds plus. Some of these storms producing possibly 65-mile-per-hour winds, possibly 70-mile-per-hour winds. So we did get one damage report out of Van Zandt County, which Van Zandt County is now in the clear. However, these areas that you see in the box here is what we have to pay attention to because they are next up to bat for those strong, severe storms. So here we go. 124, Tyler. Well, we just went over that. Tyler, it's just moving into the loop, just approaching the loop as we speak here on the air. White House, not too far away from Tyler, around 137, give or take. Gladewater, 146, 155, White Oak. Kilgore, 2 a.m. Longview, shortly after 2 a.m., around 2:07, and then Lakeport, 2:15. So these are all areas that we're paying close attention to. And again, here's that line of all that rain, heavy rain, frequent lightning, especially down in this chunk down here, just passing I-20. And also some very strong winds. So,
Colleen,
yeah.
we just had a report coming out of Maybank. Okay, that's 6 miles northeast of Maybank, Van Zandt County. Amateur radio reports thunderstorm wind damage. A homeowner reported roof blown off home.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
yeah, so I mean, when they issued that considerable, that was why. And I think we are seeing those wind gusts about 70 miles an hour. This is going to be from the National Weather Service, and it's 6 miles northeast of Maybank.
Okay.
In Van Zandt County.
Van Zandt County,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so Van Zandt County, we now have 2 reports. Maybank, and the other area that you said was
just south of Canton,
Okay.
just a mile west
Off
of Highway 19. So it's
yeah.
probably in that same order. It's really going to be, so this portion of the storm here is what's really, remember I said, I referred to that as a line echo wave pattern. And sometimes in those line echo wave patterns, you can have spin ups. Now, I'm not saying that's what this was. It may be more or less just very strong wind gusts in excess of 70 miles an hour. But, you know, a hurricane force wind catches a roof in the right kind of direction, then you can easily lift that roof, and it may have been what happened. But
Absolutely.
yeah, you can easily see that. Look at that bow. You can see that bow just west of Bascom right there.
Yeah.
So that's going to move toward Kilgore eventually, and I think right in here is where we're seeing that the strongest portion of that wind. So that's coming out of Henderson County, and this is the area of particular concern. So that likely moved, and I know it moved south of Canton across Highway 19. It likely moved through Maybank, and now, you know, I'm not going to be surprised if we don't start to hear about some damage out by Pounds and eventually onto the west side of Tyler and then through Tyler as this moves to the east. So right in here is one particular area of concern near Interstate 20 up toward Lindale, up toward Swan, and then right in here on the west side of Tyler also with those thunderstorms. And that wind, look, that little nose of that wind really looks like it's probably pushing out, and it's got to be a 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. Oh, plus they just expired the severe thunderstorm warning for Van Zandt officially from the Weather Service. So you live in Van Zandt County, you're good to go for the rest of the night.
Awesome, and I like how you said a little nose because it does look like a little face here. But in all seriousness, that's the area that Brett was just going over. I called it a Buddha belly earlier, but whatever you want to call it, it is an area that we do have to pay attention to because even though it's not a tornado warned storm, it's still producing some very strong winds, and strong winds are enough to cause some damage. We've learned about that, right? So. These are the areas that we do have to pay attention to. Again, Cherokee, Gregg, Russ, Smith, basically up to bat in Smith County as we speak.
I'm going to switch over to velocity here for you, and then I want to point out this. Look at this area right in here where red and green are showing up. All right, so we'll zoom in on that, and then also in that bright red area. So I'm just using velocity. So this is going to be the storm as it's moving, and the winds within the storm that are moving. So I've turned off the warning just for the minute so we can kind of look at some of the winds. So 72-mile-an-hour winds.
Woo!
Okay, so we have the potential there for 72-mile-an-hour winds right there crossing Smith County. Now let's zoom in a little bit farther on that, just to the northwest of Bullard. Also, probably up in here, there may be some equally as strong winds. Right in there, so it says 40, but it could be a little bit stronger. But the area of concern is right here between Brownsboro and Moore Station. Now 79-mile-an-hour winds being indicated by the radar. Now remember, we're shooting a few thousand feet into this cloud, right? So it may not be that strong, but that gives you an indication that there are winds associated with this storm that have the potential of creating 79-mile-an-hour winds. That's headed for White House, okay? So a portion of that storm could be headed for White House. So if you live in White House you know what I would do? I would head to my safe place. In noonday, White House, ARP, Overton, New Chapel Hill, I would head to a safe place. This is, maybe though it's not a tornado-warned storm, it's worthy of seeking shelter because this storm is doing some damage, considerable damage, as we just talked about from the National Weather Service, putting a considerable tag on that thunderstorm. Here's a 65-mile-an-hour wind gust with that. Here's another wind gust report of 68 miles an hour. So again, these are radar estimated, but anywhere in this zone, right in here, crossing Smith County and headed east, and I'll say about 40 miles an hour over toward Overton, you're looking at the potential for instant wind damage, noonday, Copeland, White House, ARP, Overton, between now and 2 a.m. So this would be the time to head to your shelter. I would not wait for a tornado warning to be issued. I would head to my shelter now, just based on some of the wind signatures that we're seeing within this radar. And what this radar is doing, remember, radar is looking at the precipitation that's falling within this cell, right? So it's looking at the precipitation that's falling, and it knows how fast it's falling, and it's basically taking the precipitation that's falling, and then it does a complicated math program, and then it assigns a wind value to that, and that's where we're looking at there. Again, it's estimated because it's a little higher up in the cloud cover, right? But right in here, just west of ARP, White House, noonday, there may be some very strong winds in there, and there may be some very strong winds up also here to the northwest of Highway 69 out west of Tyler. I'm going to go put some more wind gauges on this, Colleen, and you can go over what we're looking at there.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so Brett was just talking about this is an area that had that tag on it earlier because of those winds that Brett is talking about. And these could just be straight line winds. It doesn't have to necessarily rotate, and that's why a tornado tag wouldn't be put on it, but significant damage possible with just the winds alone. So again, these are some of the areas that we have to pay close attention to. And was that oh, you're just putting the warnings back on?
Yeah, I just put the warnings back on just so we could see that we were still under severe thunderstorm warnings.
Okay.
Again, there's severe thunderstorm warnings, but sometimes you can have, almost minor tornado strength winds in a severe thunderstorm warned storm.
And we're just starting here, the rain, just starting to pelt the rain into our station. All right, he's going to take the tower cam right now. Okay, there we go. So this is looking northwest. Maybe if we spin it, well, there we go. We got.
I can spin that for you.
Yeah, that's some lightning in the distance there. Really kind of giving that glow, but oh, look at that! Wow, and you can when it illuminates the sky, you can actually see everything kind of whooshing in. I don't know how else to describe it, but you can actually see the wind off in the distance. There it goes. Especially, well, I'm not pointing on here, but. Look there in the distance off to, I guess that would be everybody's right when this illuminates. You can really see when it illuminates that wind blowing in. Okay.
Here, I'll just pan this to the right. Maybe we'll get a better shot of lightning here in a second. But look at the base of the cloud.
So over here, you're kind of seeing, there it goes.
Yeah.
Every now and again, you see this wind blowing in. And then, yeah, this cloud lines are really like...
Yeah, it's well defined.
Yeah.
There's likely a pretty good shelf cloud out there, but I would be, concerned that like the southern part of Smith County, it looks like it looks like it's there might be a little bit of a lowering there. That's hard to tell from just a flash of lightning once in a while.
Every now and again, I know. We could just, and the lightning's becoming more frequent, you'll notice. Okay, here goes the camera turning a little bit. And see out in the distance, that kind of looked like a power flash.
I know.
Yeah,
that was kind of freaky.
Yeah.
That looked like.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And you can like see it blowing. There it goes. Yeah. So I don't know. Out in the distance there, for a split second on the horizon, it kind of looked like a power flash. So we'll have to. Okay. All right. So there's
Okay. So let's go back to radar, and I'll show you why this electricity may be flickering in South Tyler. We can see that there. Yeah. Look at this little signature here, just near White House. Yeah.
Okay,
so again, this is why we didn't want you to wait for a tornado warning to go to shelter. I'd go to shelter now, especially if you live in White House. This could be some sort of quick spin up. If the fact that we're seeing power flickers, maybe at least some power being knocked down. Just had a report, I think it was near Murchison, on that same near Highway 1861. They also had a tree down blocking the road there in Van Zandt County. So we know that this is a damage-producing storm. We know it's moving east and has been moving east into Smith County. And now look at it, continuing to bulge out and then continuing to have that little evidence of, I'm going to go back and put it on velocity, you think? Okay, so the power flicker was off of Loop 49 and Old Jacksonville. All right, so let's zoom in on that. That's probably going to be associated right.
Well, here's the loop. I would think it would be, yeah, south.
Wait, where is it? Did I go past the loop?
The loop's right about here.
Okay, yeah.
Right. It's hard to see with the radar on there.
Yeah, right. So anyway.
Oh yeah, actually the loop's here. So Jacksonville would be Old Jacksonville Road.
69 going south. So yeah, it's right where that bulge went out toward Alberta, toward New Chapel Hill.
Okay, yeah.
So anywhere in there would be the possibility that we just had a very strong wind gust. I'm going to flip it over.
Yeah, so this definitely, yeah. So Brett's going to bring up the velocity radar.
Yeah, so see at noonday.
Okay, yeah. This is earlier when we were talking about the winds over in Tyler. Now we're looking at noonday. These winds are very strong, and again, we're getting reports of power flashes off of Old Jacksonville, south of Tyler, and also we're seeing some stronger winds in Tyler right now.
Listen
Here comes
to the
the
wind.
rain.
Yeah, listen to the wind above us.
Pelting on our ceiling. So noonday, again, we're getting some strong winds. White House, we were just talking about you. White House, you might be in the clear right now, but this is your second to go ahead and get in your safe place, an interior room. And we have the tower cam up here right now. There's the raindrops coming in. That's outside of our station.
Yeah, I just took this shot. I can go back to the other one, but
that looks great. Yeah, so whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really got that
getting
camera.
Pummeled. Yeah, we are taking a lot of wind here at Troop in the Loop at CBS 19. A lot of lightning. And yeah, we can hear it knocking stuff around out there. So yeah, we're easily in a 65 to 70 mile an hour wind for sure. I mean, these are you know, close to hurricane force. Just listen to that. It is, yeah. All right, so we're back onto velocity here, and we're on the south side of the loop. So,
and that would be like right, yeah. So we're like right about, let's say what? Well, we're seeing all this. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, we can just hear that.
All right, so we're right about here, but you can also see just to the northeast of us, we also have some strong winds out that way. So right now our roof is just going crazy. So I'm sure yours is too. So again, you want to make sure if you're at White House, look at this, just outside noonday. Noonday, you're likely in the same boat. You're probably sitting there and saying, hey, we hear those winds as well. You want to make sure, White House, that you get to your safe place right now because we are getting very, very strong winds, and damage has been reported with these winds as well. So please get, and our lights are flickering now. So again, please get to your safe place. Brett, maybe if we could put a track on this and just warn some other folks down the road here.
Sure. I was trying to find out any other wind speed estimate within the radar, but it looks like it just kind of even got heavier. All right, let me widen here. What I'm going to do is I'll widen things out so that we can kind of give that both of those areas where that green and red are sort of meshing. In fact, what I want to do, so I can just give it an idea on reflectivity, might give us an idea. Just kind of sometimes the velocity can be just a little bit more deceiving, but let's go east out toward, all right, so there you go.
All right, okay, so these are areas, again, we're talking about winds that are very intense. We have them on top of our station right now. We were just showing that tower cam. So these areas, we're suggesting that you go